Hi, in this Morigami video, we're going to learn how to fold an origami pedestal. This pedestal is useful for showing, for example, the star that I taught in the last tutorial. Right, you can hang the star on this pedestal. It looks really nicely for exhibits. See how that looks. It also works with other similar figures that are more or less flat, and even for some three-dimensional figures that can be adapted to be supported on this pedestal. For the class, I'm going to use 6-inch square kami, as it's often called, traditional origami paper. This works with any kind of paper, and of course it's also scalable to different sizes. I'm using a light color that I would not usually use. It would stand out too much as a pedestal, but it will be easier for you to see where I'm making the folds. Enough talking, let's fold. So thank you for joining me for this Morigami video. I hope you enjoyed folding this pedestal. It works not just with the summer star we did in my last video before this one, but it also works with the mask that I'll be teaching in my next video, the bearded man mask. And so as not to miss that video, don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already. Please also put likes and commentaries on these videos. I promise I will answer those messages if you send them to me. You can also follow me on Twitter at Morigami Club, Instagram at Morigami Club, and also on Facebook. And on any of those, you can also just search for Morigami and you should be able to find me there. Also, hashtag Morigami. There are some other Morigamis out there, but let's make that hashtag ours. So from Estudios Urbanos in Monterrey, Mexico, I'm signing off. Hope to see you soon, and until then, keep folding.